Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake,
and this is Mac,
and we are here with Eros Armstrong. Eros, we met you at Nationals in Austin this summer, where, if I recall properly, you did not lose a match.
No, I haven't lost yet.
So Eros is the heavyweight and open weight reigning U.S. champion. Absolutely had to get you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Not only did she not lose, she crushed people.
Yeah, I think several people were taken out of the ring on stretchers after they faced Eros. Yeah.
I am a nice athlete, I swear. No, I'm determined. Determined. I have big goals and big aspirations in this sport. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. No, we loved meeting you. It's really fun. I mean, you can see this in a lot of the competitors, but you in particular are just you're a monster for like 10 seconds at a time, and then you immediately back to teddy bear.
It's amazing.
Thank you. I was like, the children love me. I swear. Come and take pictures. And then I had this beautiful little girl at the Juneteenth tournament where she actually came up to me, got in a stance, and was like, rah! And I was like, all right, I 10 years, I want you in this match. I want you here wrestling.
Like, I must, like Drago looking down at Rocky. I must break you.
Oh,
dear. Also, I love you. Keep doing sumo. I want you to join my sport.
Yes, it's like, keep doing it. I can't wait. I have little kind of like fans that are coming up, and they're like, oh my gosh, can you sign? I'm like, I'm gonna sign your book, but I'm like, I'm not but okay. And I'll try and put something inspirational, like keep doing, or if their parents tell me something like the parents will be like, they're kind of scared of the boogeyman. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna break your boogeyman. There will be no more boogeyman, I promise you. And they're like, really? And like I'll send like I'll get messages from the parents being like, thank you.
Like, that's amazing.
I'm a big sister. I know what this is about. I've got you.
No, that's really cool, because like sumo is definitely growing as an amateur sport in the United States, and women's sumo in particular started from a pretty sparse spot, and it's going somewhere now. That's for sure.
Yes, in the state of Texas, they are bringing out big support with big hearts. How do I even start? Like, we had the women's tournament, and there were like a few women showed up, and I was like, okay, there was more that had scheduled, but then there were some conflicts, and COVID, we understood. There was like, okay, hopefully, this. I told myself, whatever happens next year, I'm gonna do it bigger. I'm gonna do it better. This is just a stepping stone. And sure enough, people showed up, and then the audience were so moved by everybody's performance that they're like, let's do this. And we got at least 3 members from the freaking audience to
right
from the crowd that day. Sumo. And I was like, yes,
this is it. This is why we do this.
Exactly. They were so passionate. There was actual couples that kind of wrestled against each other. And I was like, loser has to do the dishes, and then like they would go harder at it. I was like, this is great. I love it.
That's so cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so why don't we talk a little bit more about you? How'd you get your start in the sport? Because like you train at Dark Circle in Austin there.
Yes.
But yeah, how'd you hear about it? How'd you decide this was a sport for you?
Okay, so a little about me. I'm a disabled veteran. I have PTSD and I'm labeled with agoraphobia. I had wanted to hit the ground running on my mental health, and I had joined a gym that was veteran owned called Big Tex. And there was this wonderful man there named Joel Hendershot. And he and I had struck up a friendship, a bond. He would correct my form, kind of talk to me a little bit. He'd see me having a little issue. He would help me just with like some breathing, and we really became fast friends. And sometimes he'd bring his kids, and that was the start of our bond. And I remember one day he came over to my house and he was like, hey, so there's this new sumo club, and I'm gonna go do it, but before I do, can you like hit my shoulders real quick, because I got these gifted hands. They're not just for taking people out. I also do a little massage therapy. So I just went and kind of fixed that. got him squared away and said, "Hey, you know what? I can't go outside right now today. I'm feeling a little but you go there. Tell me how it is, and if you like it, I will come join you, and that will be one of my new challenges to face my, agoraphobia. I'll try it for 30 minutes and then I'll come back and then I'll keep going and come back." And he was like, "Sure." He went, and I don't know what Justin did to him. Okay, wait,
Uh-oh.
I know what
It's
Justin did to him.
Justin.
It's Justin. It's always Justin. No, because that man, oh my lord, Justin did something to him, smoked him. This man had been doing strongman, and that's like pulling trucks. That's lifting the stone boulders, throwing sandbags, kegs over these large things. He was not a lightweight. Okay, I knew this man to
Right.
be strong and cardiovascular fit, and he came and he was like, "Whoa, that's sumo. You need to do it. I absolutely am exhausted. I was smoked. My legs are dead. We should go do this together." And I was like, "Bet, we're gonna do it.
That's awesome.
We're gonna go." I show up, my heart's pounding. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna focus. And then, we get into this ring, and I recognize, I'm like, oh, I've wrestled before. I've done combatives. I've been in
Sure.
the military. I literally had to take men larger than myself down. So I'm gonna do this. This will be fine. And oh, Justin's across from me. He's not taller than me or bigger than me.
He's
I'm
yeah,
he's
he's not
he's
he's not
average.
tiny, but he's not
right,
huge by any means,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to like send him flying, because at the
Lunch.
time I I was deadlifting 500 pounds and bench pressing 275. So
Oh
I
my
was
god,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to send him flying. What
Oh,
I feel so bad for him. And I got in my stance. He showed me the stance. I got in the stance. And then I blast off, and I'm getting ready to like just push, and he's gone. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I feel these hands on my back, and it pushes me out of the ring. And I was like, what the how? What in the Super Saiyan teleportation did you just do? How did you get behind me? That's not okay. I want to go again. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, again. And then it's like he did it again. I was like, gosh darn it, again. And he's like,
I'm getting
again.
Vegeta vibes. I'm getting
I'm
total
like,
Vegeta vibes
and
here.
I'm like, okay, first of all, Vegeta, yes, number one on the whole adulting 101. We all become Vegeta, is where we have the
Of
whole.
course.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
It's, but he did this to me, and I was like, I am strong, I am fast, and this man is beating me. Oh, I will master this sport. I
Right.
am going to win. He's not going to get the better of me like this. I, and I got there. It was like, okay, sensei. And I said it with all due the
Oof.
most respect I could muster in my voice, sensei. And that was my thing of, you are now my teacher.
Mhm.
You show me how to do what you just did. You show me how to freaking stop that from happening. You show me how to make sure that when I put someone online, they don't escape. Show me how to be the best beast I can be. I want to win. And he saw that. He made sure he did some more testing, and everybody that's been in Dark Circle Sumo, I noticed there's a lack of ego and a desire to win, or a desire for community. And everybody keeps pouring into each other and helping each other out, like whether it's giving rides to different locations so we can meet up, or whether it's showing up to people's houses and just practicing with them in their backyard, or practicing with them in their apartment. It's been really wonderful. And it was him doing that. Now there had been some people that came in, and they're like, because they were also from the gym, but they were meatheads, and they were kind of even my UFC friends know that there are certain people that come into a gym environment, and they're just there to hurt people. They're there to
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
like,
There
you
for
know
the wrong reason.
they're not there for the spirit of the sport. They're there for themselves. And
Right.
it was because I watched him. I'm like, oh my gosh, if he really wants to win, these people are incredibly strong. They're like dragging 600, 700 pounds. They are incredible athletes, but they're mentally, they will hurt people in a bad way. Like, and he was like, nope, not for my team. He's like, we need
Get out.
teachable people. And I was like, he's protecting his athletes. He's protecting others. This person is even more worth my loyalty and
Sure.
devotion. I'm like, sensei. So that's why we fight so hard to make sure that we're just growing the sport. I am constantly going around HEB here in Austin, just I'll be pushing the cart and I'll see someone and I'll be like, they look like they would be good at sumo. And I'll stop and like, excuse me, miss, sir, hello. What sport do you do? What sport did you do? And some people, they're like, oh, and again, I'm coming up with my mask on. So like, this is a very interesting approach. COVID has not helped me with my recruitment game, but I'm working on it. Like, how personable can I be while you can only see my eyes? Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm telling them, hey, I noticed you have a strong foundation lower body wise. What can I get you to do to come out and try sumo wrestling? And I'll show them some videos. I'll show them episodes from the women's tournament. I'll show them, different interviews, and they seem motivated. There are so many people here in Austin, like waking up, like, what? Sumo? Really?
That could
I'm
be
like,
fun. Yeah.
yes.
It's like,
And
all right.
so I've taken to training a few of them just to kind of build up because some people need to be built up a little bit before their confidence is enough to go out for sumo. Whereas I was like, this is a mental health challenge. I'm going to go do it. And I showed up and I found a supportive community that just really helped me, and it was amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
That's everybody we've talked to has it's a tight knit community, and we've made
Very
the joke that
supportive.
it's too niche, it's too small still to like be petty about it, right? Everybody's on the
Right,
same team.
Mhm.
right,
But
right.
and on that topic, like there's a ton of teams down there in Texas. Like we just heard of a new one just like in the last couple of weeks here, right?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
get around to the other clubs and stuff like that down there?
So the beautiful thing is I've got to say that having been in the military, leadership is important to me. Like, quality leadership is important. And what I saw was that Justin would have, in the beginning, it was just San Antonio had a club and Justin formed his in Austin. So he would kind of take us to San Antonio to show us, like, here, learn from here, learn about the belt system. If you want to do it, you can. If not, he's like, I want to focus on technique. I just want
Mhm.
to focus on getting you all squared away. But if you want to do the belt, you can, but we're going to focus on this. And then there was other athletes that he found out about, and he literally would take us and we would go to like Dallas, and he would help Dallas set up their team and like get them squared away on the rules and go through drills and like help their captains figure out what they were doing. And then we'd go to Houston, just do all these different things, different trials. And I made a joke. I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if we could get us all on different times? But that didn't happen. We still we still get a wonderful a collection of people where they all are willing to travel. Like, we've got people traveling from Dallas to Austin, or people traveling from Dallas to, San Antonio, or vice versa. It's all going around. And because we have that kind of healthy competition that's going on, we've got people from different sports backgrounds competing and bettering each other. And because we're all from Texas, like, yes, we can beat on each other, but you can't beat on us. That's kind of a thing. Like, I'm beating whoever I have to make them ready for, Florida and, Las Vegas, etc. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
as
what
soon as these Florida guys comes in, or the Appalachian or the Californians come in, it's like, no,
yes.
no, no.
All,
You
It's like,
no,
can't beat
all
on
bets are off.
us.
Yeah.
it's like Texas rally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's so funny because you got your like your immediate family of Dark Circle, then you got your Texas team, but then even more than that, even still, even if you're going to go a little extra hard on somebody from Florida, right? But
yes.
we're all still the U.S. team, right?
Exactly. So we are all the United States team. That is my number one thing, is that maybe it's the 80s baby in me, maybe it's the prior military, but I have literally looked at, and why I'm trying to recruit women so much is I have seen that no American woman has taken first place. Did you all know that?
Did a
We
little bit of research, and yes.
mhm.
Well, yes. So
We
I
don't
No,
want to jinx it. Don't want to jinx it, but
yeah,
we
um,
I'm gonna change that. I want to change that.
yeah.
excellent.
That is all the hours I am putting in, all the weight training, all the lifestyle changes in dieting, the constantly eating, all of that,
Yeah.
all of it. And it's bad because it's tasty too, but it's just like, you're gonna pick up a fork and just look down at this, like, another plate of chicken, and you're like,
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I'm a champion. I'm a champion. Keep going. Keep going. It's like I'm doing what I have to. It's like, you think Russia's slacking? No, no,
Yeah.
they're not.
Every
Keep
fourth
eating.
full is a little bit harder for that Russian to
freedom.
lift, right?
I mean,
Exactly,
got it.
exactly. I just need more protein. Like I now have it to where other people in the gym that I go to, they will see me, and if I stop like lifting just for a second, like I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'm just, oh, it's so, I'm done with the set. Someone will be like, hey, you think Russia's slacking? What about Japan?
Oh,
And I'll be like, and it's like the old people too. They're like, hey,
oh,
is
what?
Japan slacking? I'm like, no, Japan is not slacking. Japan is training very hard, and I am an American, and I'm going to like one more set. And they're like, good, good, we support you. And that has been another wonderful thing about Texas, is that if I go to Dallas, or if I go to Houston, or if I'm going to San Antonio, and because there's other gyms that I have there that are kind of my little favorite hideaways, there will be other athletes there, other strength athletes, and they'll see me working hard, and they'll be like, what's your goal? And I'll tell them, and they will keep that in mind, so that if they see me slacking, they'll be like, you think the Ukraine team is
Oh
rested
man,
right
just
now?
getting those digs
And
in.
I'm like, just going. I'm like, no, no, they're not. So I am so motivated for that. But I am taking a page for my training from Muhammad Ali and Venus and Serena Williams, the sisters. They're like, because I'm an 80s baby, like the people who inspired me when I was coming up is who I take pages from.
Sure.
And I've been training in isolation because, COVID was a thing, and it was, causing issues for a lot of people. And I was seeing them getting it affecting their lungs. And I was like, nope, if I'm going to risk it, I'll risk it at nationals and then worlds. Like, that is where I will risk it, is for that gold medal to be there, because I had a goal. And my grandfather unfortunately passed away from COVID, and
Oh no.
Sorry to hear that.
he was one of my biggest supporters. And he would always, while he was going through dialysis and doing all those treatments, they would say that the nurses would say my grandfather would come more alive when he would see me wrestling, and he used to support me when I was wrestling as a kid. So he would just come alive, and that would give me so much, like, a good feeling right in my heart. And I was like, you know what, I am going to be number one in the nation, then I'm going to be number one in the world, and I don't care how long it takes me. This is happening.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for all my teammates that have to go against me. I feel sorry for any other opposition, 'cause I gotta go.
All
declaration.
Those
That was
poor
a
ladies who
declaration
are
of-
fighting over second place. Yeah.
but I want to support. I love that there are more women coming into the sport, because it allows me to diversify my skill set, and I teach them something, they teach me something. So it's amazing. I'm getting to share my passion with weightlifting and like body conditioning for combat, and they're teaching me what it means to still keep refreshing resiliency, to keep pushing when your body is sore, when you're hurting, when that lactic acid buildup is just so much, and you didn't sleep good the night before, but you still got to get up and go to the gym. You still got to, go do those miles and get those miles on the treadmill or on the road.
Mhm.
You still got to go. You got to do that Rocky montage, put that music in. And like, everyone in my neighborhood now knows me, and they'll sometimes wave, or I've seen like the parents, they'll have their kids come out of the house to like wave and cheer me on, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just jogging. And
Yeah.
that has been really motivating and touching. Like, what people will watch when they were bored during isolation was just me running laps around the neighborhood.
So you run laps, you do
Mhm.
strength training.
Oh,
What
yes.
else do you, apart from being in the ring? Because you mentioned you're training in isolation. What are you
Yes.
doing? I mean, don't tell us any of your techniques. I don't want to know
Okay.
any of that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to
Yes,
give
yes,
anything
yes.
We're
away.
not trying to get the secrets out.
Yes.
No. I don't want to do that. But you say training in isolation. How has, like, what have you done to continually improve with that?
So I'm polyamorous. I have partners, and they help me with training. Each of them have different body weights and body sizes, and they literally went to sumo wrestling practice to like learn from Justin what techniques that would be good for them. And they fight me. Like, I'll get up
Oh.
and they'll be like, "Hey, so you trying to go to the bathroom?" Heh. And I'm
Oh,
like,
jeez.
"Turn it." They're like, "Get out of the ring." And they're
You
like,
walk in the door, it's like,
they're like, They're like,
Where
you
are
want
you?
to go, you want to get to the bathroom? I'm like, you started. It's like, ah. Like, okay, get out of my way. Or I have gear here that I've bought over my time in the military. I bought all sorts of combative gear because as when I was training, I was in law enforcement. And as a woman, if you're a cop, you kind of people assume that you're not going to be able to do certain things. Now I know I'm 5'11", kind of imposing a little bit, eh? But that's different when you're trying to take down a marine and be like, "Sir, stop
Sure.
resisting." So I literally had gear for combatives and for throws and for practicing all sorts of things, and that would be what I would do. And I kept practicing there. Then I joined a gym that had a swimming pool, and it was kind of a private gym. And I was literally, I will do about like an hour of the weights, and then I'll hit an hour in the pool, and I'll break it up into like 20 minutes of just arms, 20 minutes of just legs, and then whatever is like hurting the least or
Ah,
whatever is
I'm
like
hurting just
burning,
hearing this.
I
Like,
will finish
ow.
I will finish it off that way because when I was a kid, Ollie had this thing where he said, I don't count. I only count once it starts hurting. And I'm like, oh, why did you have to tell me that when I was a kid? Because now I gotta use it. Like, so that's my goal.
Yeah.
Is I will do those laps and then move with weights. And I've got these like 50-pound weights, and I'll just get in the pool and just kind of move those around. And I will practice my moves, and I'll practice that while holding the weights underwater and just keeping everything going. And I do that. That's what I do. Then afterwards, I'll get out. I have these women in Austin. It turns out the people I go to for massage therapy, they're actually Japanese, so they're like sumo, and I was like yes, and they're like
Yes.
oh, and they're so happy to see me because they're just like oh yes, very good form. And they will tell me different positions that I should be practicing on, or they'll
That's
like
awesome.
when they don't have work, they will bring up like tournaments, and they'll point at me and be like, this tournament, they're like, here, you need to work on this technique. And I'll be like, thank you. I will tell my sensei, and yes, we'll
Yeah.
talk. And he'll be like, yeah, they're right. They're right. Definitely work on that. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And it has been a really interesting because every time there's a tournament, we have watch parties, and then from the watch parties, I will then go and train on what I just saw happening. Like,
Cool.
and I
That's
have
awesome.
at least 100-pound bag that I will put kind of like over my forearms, and it's about 100 pounds. Sometimes I'll put chains on it, and I forgot. I think the chains are about 25, maybe 50. We'll put them on my forearms and just stay in my stance and kind of move forward and do my pushes. It's
God.
just I am literally every stabilizer muscle that I can think of to strengthen or hit explosively or for power. That is what I'm doing. And it's been kind of just like my physical therapy friends have been such a blessing. I look I'm gonna stop there, but yeah,
No.
that's
No, like we've been saying, it's a great community, and it's so awesome to hear like everybody we've talked to is just like yeah, everybody that's in the group or that we talk to about sumo, it's all positive, everything is great, it's so
As
much
soon
fun.
as outside of the ring, like, you're great, this is fantastic. You get across from Eros, those arms come out, and she throws you across the ring. She gets up. Are you okay?
Yeah, and then you help them up, of
Unconscious.
course, and then
Exactly.
we're good.
yes. I am a trained first responder. How can I assist you?
Yes, I may have caused this injury, but I'm here to help.
But I am here to help. It's like I
Yeah.
am here. It has just been wonderful, and also my mother is she's a therapist, so I've been very fortunate to talk with her, and she's been kind of getting me into that, just staying in the warrior ethos and my warrior ethos and my mental, and mental and spiritual mindset. And she's also we organized a group where other athletes, if they wanted to work on their mental resiliency and they wanted to work on like different things on managing and coping with stress, because training causes stress. Wanting to compete causes stress. Being number one causes stress. All of these things add to something. The isolation people were feeling during COVID, all of these things were kind of, it upset the apple cart a little bit. But sumo was really good about acquiring people with different talents, different skill sets, and kind of just bringing them all together and helping each other process and move forward to what our goal is, which everyone in the United States should be like, hey, this isn't soccer. I don't appreciate that America is not at least number one on that. Like, hold up. We've got football, we've got wrestling. Why are we not on the board? That's
Yeah.
unacceptable. That's going to change this year. Let's make this happen. And
We're certainly on the right trajectory, that's for sure.
Yes.
exactly. Oh,
You did
we are coming.
I did you mentioned that yes US sumo is our top priority, but I remember you mentioned that you were also looking to train around the world if that opportunity comes up.
Oh my gosh, if I could, like, the number ones I want to train, I want to go to Japan and I want to go to Russia. I've been like, I've been practicing. I'm like, Dobro utro, немного по-русски, извините, как дела? Хорошо. Like, I'm
I have
practicing.
no idea what she just said.
Do we need to like put an explicit filter on this
No,
episode
yes.
where you swear at us in
no
Russian?
explicit.
I hate these guys. What are they doing? I don't. Why am I here?
No, I am literally my thing is, if you are the best, if your people have a history of winning, I want to come train with you. I want to see what your skill set is. I will bring my best and pit it against your athletes as long as it takes. I want to sit there for a week, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks if they'll let me, and just go and really hone my skills, because when I step on the world stage, I want to give a show. I want the other nations to know that the American team is serious, and this is
Oh
what I
yeah.
think it will take.
Mm.
And because I have agoraphobia, it's also a challenge to me personally
Mm.
to be like, hey, how bad do I want it? The answer, very badly. So I'm challenging my own comfort level by going, I see who the best are. I see where it originated from. I want to go there and learn to see if I can pick up even more of this sumo spirit. And that is like what's fueling me and fueling my drive.
Excellent.
Right on.
I dare say it's kind of an obsession, maybe. Yeah.
Not a bad obsession.
Not a bad. It's gotten me healthier. My doctors
There you
are like,
go.
your resting heart rate is amazing. I'm like, yes. They're like,
So is my Tachi eye.
It's like, yeah.
Thank
You want to see my Sapari?
It's like, yes, but now the Tachi is not the only thing to fear. The
Yeah.
only thing. I have been honing, and I can't wait. I can't wait for nationals.
Mm.
I am so ready. You have. Oh, I'm so ready.
We are super.
We
We're
cannot
super
wait.
excited to see you there. Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
great. It'll be a show. So speaking of nationals, or speaking of Vegas, the North American Championships coming up here. Who again, we're not trying to get any like training secrets out of you or anything, but who are you most excited to face?
Ooh, okay. So, one person I wanted to train with, but we had unfortunately, a family member ended up in the hospital and had to help out with that. I wanted to train with Helen,
Del Popolo.
because she was, a judo Olympic type athlete. And I'm sitting there like, well, I too have been at the Olympic training centers, and I was for wrestling. So I would love to, you know, see what that's about, because if that makes me better, like, she's kind of someone I want to take as in a mentor type role. I want her to mentor me and just pour
Yeah.
all those skills into me, because she's got it, and I'm like, I want that. So there's that. I also know Jose's wife is going to be there. I would like to
Yeah,
see
lady.
her again, because the lady is she's bigger and taller, and definitely there is Russia has a team, a woman that is built just like her named Olga, and I'm like, okay, I see. That is that's your number one, huh? That's your number one. And then I've seen their number two, and then I see their new number one. I'm like, those are the people to beat. Those are the women that I need to beat in order to stand on that podium.
Mhm.
Outstanding. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Let's find some training partners, some
Like,
stand-ins for 'em, yeah.
fantastic. Exactly. So I literally, I even have across the way, one of my neighbors is a Samoan, and I went out there, he saw me running around, he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I would like to, show you some things. And he showed me some wrestling moves, and I was like, have you heard of the Samoan bulldozer? And
Yes.
he's like, who? And I was like showing him videos. He's like, I will show you some things from the island. And I'm like,
That's so cool.
Yes.
Like,
That's
yes! Like, this is
awesome.
so wonderful. But he like then proceeded to throw me around like a rag doll, and I'm like, good lord, because the man is giant, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my lord. But this is fine. But I still learned, so that was great.
Yeah,
And
you got to be humbled every now and then, right?
Mhm.
exactly.
Oh,
Like,
you think you're hot shit? Boom.
exactly. Nope, I keep it. That is one thing, is I always know that I'm always learning. There's so many, like, there have been some old heads at the gym, some veterans that are like, I used to wrestle with Dan Gable. I'm like, show me what you got. Show me
Yeah.
everything that you have in your basket. I want it. Please and thank you. How many, they're like, whew. I've got some people who are like gymnasts, and they're like, let me show you some things about rotator cuffs and shoulders and everything else. I'm like, got it. Show me everything.
Yeah.
I'm literally absorbing as many skills. Whenever my insomnia hits, I'm starting my workout early. I'm like, okay, well, can't sleep. Might as well start the workout now, and then just do that, and then going about my day. The support has been amazing. The veteran community here in Austin has been amazing. It's just been, I'm ready for December. Like, 11th, come on. And I've never been to Vegas. Can you believe it or not? I've never been.
I are you I would hope that you're not taking like the Vegas style vacation in the lead up to the matches,
Nope,
but
nope.
yeah.
I am so what's happening is I am being escorted. So I will be sedated on the plane ride, because I'm agoraphobic. I don't travel well.
Oh no,
But
that
I'm
sounds like
being
it's going to be
like,
tough.
I get sedated. They will take me to the hotel room. I will be isolated and quarantined, just like I did when I was doing a little boxing. Muhammad Ali used to be in isolation. The other top athletes would all be in isolation. So I'm literally showing up, and I'm keeping away from everyone. And it will be to go to the facility to see it, and then to go back to the hotel to rest, to recomp, take a day or two to recuperate, and then go back for the weigh-ins and then the matches. That is what I am doing. I am not there, unfortunately, to see the beautiful city of Las Vegas until after
Focus.
the
You're
Once the
tournament.
job's
focused.
done. Yep.
Everything blinders on until the podium. That is it. That is all I care about, is how well can I represent Texas sumo at nationals. And then it will be, from that it goes into training immediately after, of okay, maybe one day of celebration, and then
Yeah.
it's immediate of just like gallons and gallons of water, and starting over of just recomp, kind of deloading, taking it easier on the muscles, going back, starting again from day one, phase one, of redoing my physical conditioning, of building up my strength, building up everything, making sure my muscles, my body is responding how I want, because worlds is the big goal. So then it's like everything starts over again. It does not stop. It doesn't. It continues to build upon that success, and if there's anything that happens or anything that needs to be worked on, it's worked on. And that is until I am a finely honed machine. That is all I care about.
Yeah. Well,
Very.
we're
Oh, sorry.
No,
no,
no, no,
no,
no.
we're
You're
we're
good.
super excited. We're super excited to see it. I mean, like I said, we were able to see you in Austin. That was a great time, great performance and stuff like that. We're happy to we're so glad you were able to come on the show here, and we're looking forward to seeing you again.
Oh yeah.
And as we are fans, there are a ton of people. I know there are a ton of people supporting you. I know that there are a lot of, including us, definitely. But there's a fan that you wanted to call out specifically.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Thank you for
Okay.
reminding us, Mac.
Thank you. So, I here's the thing. Children are our future. I'm a big believer in that. There's one thing, every time we'd be overseas, you would see the light in a child's eyes from a different nation and what they were trying to be. You'd ask them what they wanted to be. There was a fan of mine at the VA who would always be there to support me. And again, I'm agoraphobic, traveling in Austin traffic. I don't know if you know what that's like.
Yes, yes, I
that
do.
is that is that is a trial. That is a trial of
Yes.
willpower. It's like, and especially if you've been in convoys, it's a thing where you're just like, oh, I just need to get to the VA. But there would always be the security guard who was always nice, always smiling, no matter how bad your day was, no matter how frazzled you looked. He was always on point, until one day I saw he was not so on it. And I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, well, I have a son. He's a fan of yours, and he's going through chemotherapy. He's got cancer. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm gonna tell my coach, because this kid, we're gonna root for him. We're gonna rally. Dark Circle Sumo is gonna rally behind this young man, and we're gonna help. And we called him up, and we gave him wise words, gave him all the resilient speeches. You can do it. You're gonna be fine. The hope was that he was going to go through the chemo and it would save his eye. It did not. Unfortunately, the cancer advanced to the stage where he had to have the eye removed. Now we are raising money to buy a prosthetic eye for him to help the family out with costs because they have other children, and it's just been kind of a hardship for them to have to deal with. We did rally some money together and had like a little animated picture made from one of our favorite artists, Tavo, and my fan's name is Malik, and he has just been amazing. This young man, even though he's like lost his eye, he is like joking with his mom and trying to cheer up his family. And there's his mannerisms and the way he conducts himself inspires me to want to be better as an athlete, to want to be better as a person. So I'm asking everyone, please, if you can, like I will be posting it up on my Facebook and again on my Instagram, if or even with you guys, if you guys wouldn't mind.
Yep,
posting it up.
we'll put the link in the video.
We are raising money for his new prosthetic eye, and because he's a young man, he's also nerdy, and he has a thing where he likes Naruto, and we can understand that kids can be cruel. So I'm thinking we'll get this prosthetic eye made off of one of the special eye powers off of Naruto.
Oh, nice!
I'm thinking that would be really cool. Like he can get a professional one, but one that kind of empowers him as a youth to want to strive to be better. And his parents are talking about enrolling him in martial arts if they can, so that he will be more confident and well-rounded. Now that's the thing that I'm thinking is going to be very helpful. I'm unsure yet, based upon what Justin has said, if we are going to be able to get him a Muwashi and kind of do like private training with him to kind of help him feel. Because if you're a fan of sumo, just because you've lost a little bit of depth perception does not mean you shouldn't continue that passion.
You really only need about 5 feet, really.
Right? Exactly. Get a hold of them. You don't have to worry
Go
about
for the grapple.
Just exactly. Grappling master. But that is the thing that I feel in Austin that kind of sets us apart from, in Texas in general. We care about our fans. We've been nurturing a relationship with our fans. We've been letting them into our lives, letting them experience that. I've kept some of my stuff, like I've stopped posting for a good while in Facebook and Instagram, because I found that there's some features that will tell you who's watching your stuff. And I found after nationals, after I think it was predominantly Juneteenth. After Juneteenth, I got an influx of people liking on old videos and etc. And they were all from overseas. So it was like, trying to get the secrets. I'm going. I said Bravo 6, I'm going dark, and I just shut it down for a little bit. And I will post now all those training videos that have been kept private until after December 11th.
December 12th, we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say 12.
Yeah.
12.
And it's like about the 12th section, you'll see some more weightlifting. They'll be like, that's a lot of weight. Be like, oh no. I wonder why she moved me. Yeah, I've been training.
All right. Well, we do have to go for today, but thanks so much for joining us. Where can people find you on Instagram is where you mainly hang out, right?
Yes, Instagram is definitely where I hang out. I check up the stories, get motivation, talk with my team. Mm-hmm. Facebook is also fine, but no, Instagram is the best. Instagram is the best for me.
And that's Eros_Armstrong, EROS. Go check it out. And yeah, we'll make sure we get that link in our description here. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing you in person in Vegas there. And good luck with the training.
Good luck.
Thank you guys for having me. You've been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
throw your salt high
and keep moving forward.